this video, I'm going to show you how you can soft link one production order to satisfy the demand of multiple sales orders and be able to have a reference on each of them. The business value that we saw here was that hard reservations out of the box sometimes don't really help customers because they're forced into using that inventory on that specific sales order. Changing dates and quantities can sometimes be difficult. So if you're familiar with our Sabre Production feature, where we gave the ability to be able to create a production order from a sales order line, that gave customers the ability to be able to reference that this production order was meant to satisfy the demand of this sales order. However, by not using hard reservations, we had the ability to be able to use that inventory to ship on another sales order if we needed to satisfy, say, for example, a rush customer request or change the date or the quantity, which often happens in manufacturing in production. So if we jump into Business Central, let's see it in action. So here we are in our Kronos company. So I am going to look at my material planning page, which is a new page that we created to be able to see supply and demand all in one page. We have a really great YouTube video if you'd like to check out more on this feature. But for now, I'm just going to leverage this to be able to focus on just my main warehouse, and I'm going to focus on just my shortages, and I'm going to calculate to see my net on hand. So I'm filtered to just this specific item here, and I have the ability to be able to see that my net on hand for this item, I'm going to be short 11 based on the sales orders, production orders, negative inventory based on demand inside my system. So if I look at the material planning, I'm able to see that this item is on multiple sales orders. It's on sales orders 17, 18, and 19. I can see that I require 2, leaving me short 2. I can see that I then need 5 for my next sales order, leaving me short 7. And then I can see that I need 4 for the last, leaving me short 11. So from this page, I have the ability to create a supply order. So I can highlight multiple lines and then create a supply order to be able to satisfy the demand. It can create purchase orders or production orders. This item is set to being a prod order, so it can create me a production order, either firm, planned, or released. I can actually support creating assemblies as well. So I'm going to go into my Sabre Production setup just to kind of bring your awareness to your options here. So if you look under Sabre Production Soft Link, skip Soft Link in multi-orders. This is the setting that's going to allow you to be able to indicate whether or not you want to have the soft link reference when you create the supply order. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create my orders and I'm going to leave this off. So I'm going to select 2 lines, create my supply order. If I wanted to use the out-of-the-box reservations, I could enable this and do that. The system is looking and saying, well, you've selected 2 lines, 2 and 5, so I'm suggesting that you produce 7. I could change this if I want. So I now go ahead and say OK. So if I refresh this, the system created this production order based on the parameters that I had on my request page. And if I drill in and I look at this document, you can see here that the sales order number on this says multiple. So this lets me know that this firm planned production order was created to satisfy the demand of multiple sales orders. If I click on the 3 dots here, I can see which sales orders this was designed to supply. Again, no hard reservations. So if I want to use the full quantity, partial quantity, any of this inventory to ship on a sales order that isn't referenced here, I could certainly do that. And that is one of the big business advantages. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete this now. So again, I can see my net on hand. And what I'll do now is I'm going to change my setup to indicate that I want to skip the sales order, the soft link, sorry. And then I'm just going to run that again just to show you the difference. So I've selected the same two lines, create supply order. I'll just leave this all the same. So over here again, we can see a production order was created. I can go ahead and click on the source document. So now there is no reference to any sales order or any line. So this has given me the ability to either choose to say, look, I see the supply, the demand, I'm going to create the supply, but I don't want them to reference one another. There's no value in that for my business. Or if I wanted that ability to do that soft link, so I could say, hey, this is why the production order was created, but not be locked in. I could have the soft link turned off. And of course, I could use the out of the box hard reservations should that make sense for my business as well. For any questions on this cool feature to be able to soft link sales orders and production orders, or the material planning page, which I also showed, please reach out to us. We'd love to give you more information.